Welcome back, racers. Today we're doing another featured series event here on the channel. It is the Built to Race featured series, and right now our first race we're jumping into mid-Ohio. So we're in the 2018 Porsche 911 GT2 RS. So just enjoying the race here. A lot of bumping here. This is a single player race, so these are just drive-atars. This is the first time I've driven the Porsche in this game, so still kind of getting the training wheels off here in this first race. Honestly, I don't know that I ever got them through the entire series. It was a little bit harder to drive. Definitely a step up from the BRZ that we drove in the last featured series, so it does seem like that's going to continue to get faster. I know the recommended car that or the featured car is that one next to us there, the KTM. It's the Crossbow, I believe. And it probably would have done a lot better. Looks like it's got a lot better downforce and all that other jazz. But anyway, here we are on lap 3. We are up in 4th place. We did start out in 12th here. I wanted to make it a little challenging, but starting in 12th, it was predicting me to finish in 4th or 5th, I think. So, but we did move up into 3rd on this 3rd lap, and then we just have a battle of trying to chase down 1st and 2nd here in these Dodge Vipers, which they were just absolutely rapid through this track. I was trying my hardest to catch up to them, but in the end of the race, I really just couldn't. Here we are on the end of lap 5. We're about to come into the final little stretch here, and there was just nothing I could do to keep up with them. So 3rd place isn't bad. We made a podium, started in 12th, went up to 3rd. So as you can see here, we gained 9 positions. Here in a second you'll see the leaderboard for the series, and we are in 3rd, of course, with 23 points, and we are 5 points behind 1st place. So second race, this is at Watkins Glen. A little backstory, the car's a little bit faster because I did some off-screen races with the car. I was actually playing it on my Xbox because I could not get the game to load on my computer because it kept crashing. So I was just casually playing out on the Xbox while I couldn't record. So I was just doing free play races and just trying to level the car up. So you can see on the top right, it is level 34 now, and it's significantly faster. Hoping to keep up with the Dodge Vipers. And as you can see, I'm doing a first to last challenge here just because even when I put my position at the very last, it still predicted I would come in first. So I was just gonna, okay, we'll go for it. So already up in the 10th. And we're not even halfway through the first lap, so we're looking good here. This thing was a lot better after we got some upgrades on it. Again, still working on getting the training wheels off on the faster car here, doing a lot of bumping. There were a lot of instances where I thought I was telling the car to like go over to pass a car after I've been drafting, and just rear-ended him straight up. So didn't get much better, honestly, throughout the entire series. It just kind of happened, and the last race was honestly one of the most difficult ones because I was dealing with some graphical issues, and we'll get there when we get there. But you can see in lap 2 here, we are up into 5th, and we are fighting for a podium here as we pass up 4th place, pass up 3rd place, get a good run onto 2nd place, cut this little tight, hit the brakes a little too hard, and end up getting a little spun, but able to recover and maintain that 2nd place position. And luckily we just have 1st place, not too far ahead. Again, it is that KTM. I believe it is the Crossbow. I can't remember 100% what the actual name of it is, but I'll put it up on the screen just so you have a reference. It is the featured car. It's one of the things I was talking about there. Thought I moved over enough or put enough input into the controller to move over, but I probably just need to mess with my dead zones a little bit. I don't know. But we do recover and take over 1st place pretty easily here on lap number 2. And we do maintain that through the rest of the race. Here we are at the very end of lap number 5. with that first place finish. Again, we were significantly faster than the Drivatars. So we're still on the 4 difficulty setting. But you can see we are tied first in the event series standing for with 51 points. So we at least caught back up. There it is, the KTM X-Bow Crossbow GT2. But moving on to race number 3 of the series at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. And this is the road circuit. Again, we started out in last just because the car is overpowered. I believe I did bump up the Drivatars up to 5 on their difficulty or their speed, whatever you want to call it in this game. So we were seeing how we could handle this. Again, the car is significantly faster than most of these other cars, and you know, there was just a very aggressive Lamborghini, and getting pitted by the AMG as we re-enter onto the track. So we did hit a little rewind job here just because, you know, that's not a great start, and I want to make sure that we get those points for at least coming in the top 3. So much cleaner after we did the rewind, able to get through that section a little better, and just kind of diving into this corner to get into the 10th position. Get hit by a Porsche and a McLaren. Run wide a little bit, maintain that 10th position, and then we just kind of do our thing, go by cars here one by one as we, you know, just go through the speedway. But into these last couple corners of this course, it's a little difficult. Again, there was another instance of me thinking I put enough input into the controller to get by that person cleanly, but ended up not. But jumping into lap number 2, we are up into 4th position here with a good run on to 3rd. Coming out of this turn, our car is much faster on these straightaways than all these other cars, and that's where we get the majority of our passes. As you can see, we just blow by that crossbow like he's nothing, and then up ahead of us is 1st and 2nd, both of those in those Dodge Vipers that absolutely had crushed us in that first race. Jumping towards the end of the 2nd lap here, we end up coming through these turns a little bit cleaner than the first time. Get a good run out of here, and again, speed that this car has with these little bit of upgrades on it just absolutely kills these Drivatars on the straightaways of all these tracks. So we just completed the last 2 laps there, nothing out of the ordinary, so we just carried through that first place finish with little to no issue. And then again, you know, just absolutely crushed it. We were 9 seconds faster than the next Drivatar. You can see our PI is a lot higher, so definitely pays if you want to make these races easier on you, just to try to upgrade your car beforehand. We are leading the series with 79 points as we jump into Road America, and this is our very first wet race that we've done. This is heavy rain as the game describes it. For this one, I did start out in last again, just to see what would happen. We do have wet tires on. I don't know if the Drivatars were running wet tires, I can't remember, but this was a pretty eventful race, and I was very excited when it said that, you know, we'd be driving in the rain, because again, I hadn't done that in this game, and I wanted to see how it felt. The wet tires definitely seemed to help out. We didn't really have too many issues as far as traction goes, which is good. This Road America course is a lot of fun to drive. It's a very high speed course with very quick turns, as far as, you know, they just jump out at you and get you slowing down. As you can see, big old pile up here of Drivatars as we move up into 11th place and getting brake checked by the AMG there, just absolutely slamming on those brakes for no reason. But continue to climb through these positions up into 5th past the Lamborghini, up past the Crossbow. You see the Dodge Viper. I believe this is the one that's actually was in the first place running with us a couple races back. So we're gonna end up getting on the inside of him and getting onto the podium pretty quick and early. And now we're just waiting for that straightaway for our time to strike here to get up into 1st and 2nd place. As you can see, we get a really good run there. Got to get on the brakes really early here because of the rain, and you know, obviously we're going really fast. But do get a better exit out of that turn than the Viper there, so we do move up into second, and now we've just got the Crossbow up ahead of us, and we just got to pass it to get into first place. We're going to try to do that before the end of lap 1. This is that final straightaway, so we get an absolutely ridiculous draft off of him and just right by him like he was standing still. So that is the first lap over, and what I actually did here, I just sped up the video just because what I didn't notice during the race was the sky was actually getting lighter, and I didn't pay any attention to that. I thought it was really cool when I saw it in editing, so I just fast forwarded this a little bit just so you can see the change in the sky. And it's still raining, but it just got lighter out, so I thought it would be interesting to see. But as we approach this last little straightaway here for Road America, another first place finish against the Drivatars here in the heavy rain. So again, we were 23 seconds faster than the Drivatars in that race, and again, that's with them being bumped up to 5. We are leading the series here at 107 points. Second place has 93, so we're sitting pretty good as we move in to our final race. In that final race, again, I had issues with this graphical wise, but it is at the Virginia International Raceway. We did start up early, or start up further in the pack. I did not do very great at this course in practice, so even starting in 6th, I think it predicted me to come in 2nd or something like that. So I started higher up in the pack. Again, I think the combination of me not being so great at these tight courses, along with the Drivatar difficulty being increased, kind of got me here. But I was also having some graphical issues as far as my frame rate was like in the teens for some reason. So a lot of these rewinds, I was just feeling like it was graphic related because I felt like I was doing what I should do, and I wasn't 100% sure why it was acting the way it was. But I did come back and do another race here after the fact, and look at those Drivatars and the Vipers just absolutely take off through those little turns, or little bends rather. But I did come back and do a race here after the fact, and it seemed fine, so I don't know if it was just something wonky, because I had been playing the game for about an hour and a half at the point that I got to this race. So I don't know what happened, that it was all of a sudden just super duper low on frame rates, but we did resolve it with a restart. This also was post the update that came out yesterday, being October 17th. So I'm not 100% sure what was going on, but I really hope that they can optimize this game to make it better on the PC, because that's where I record all the content. I do have it on my Series X out in the living room where I can just play around casually, but the X is out in the living room, not in here with my PC, not in my office with my PC, so it's a little difficult to record that way. But we are up in the 2nd place here on the first lap though, and we're looking good. This is definitely one of the more difficult courses. It's so narrow, and there's so many of these little turns, and with this high spec of a car, it was kind of difficult for me to drive. I'm going to be quite honest, I'm not the greatest driver, so just bear with me as we go through this. I'm hoping to do more lower tier kind of stuff in the future, and like online and stuff like that. Here's where I had a really bad wreck, if you want to call it that. I went off the track, and here I was just like, let me see if I can change any of these settings to make this any better. It worked a little bit. I had to cap it at 30 frames. It somewhat helped. It doesn't really seem like it in the video footage here, which is strange, because it should just be capturing what you know, the screen was producing, but it definitely felt not great when I was racing. But here we are on lap number 2. We've got this Viper on the straightaway. Again, we're in 2nd place. We're about to absolutely pass this guy like he is standing still yet again. Up in the 1st, we get the overtake, and then we just have to hold it out for the rest of the race, which is relatively easy to do. It's a lot easier to maintain a position than it is to gain positions in this game. We did have a 2nd and 3/10 penalty for cutting a corner somewhere. in that race. I don't even remember where it was. So our mission after passing first place was just to get a second and the third ahead of him, so we do finish him first. But we did that with ease. We were only 6 seconds ahead of second place there, so but we did complete the championship, or the series, featured event, whatever you want to call it, with 135 points. So I'm glad it's over. I think this next coming weeks are probably in faster cars. Who knows? I could look, but we'll save that for the surprise of the week. But hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, definitely leave a like. Definitely leave me a comment down below if you were able to do this and what car you did it in, and if you thought it was easy or not. And we'll catch you in the next one.